Hello, good morning, happy Friday. My headphones are all tangled. That's okay. Welcome. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and say hello in the comment section below so I can see who's watching live. I'm going to be sharing this into the event as well so that our lovely crew members can help out. I've kind of got two computers going today. Facebook keeps changing things up on me. So the tool that I use, some of you know this, it's called Ecamm Live. And it's a third-party tool that allows me to share my screen and all that good stuff. But what happens is, because of the recent changes and the privacy changes on Facebook, I'm not allowed to see your comments using this third-party tool. So I'm going to be using two computers today to kind of make sure I don't miss anything. And there, I posted it in the event itself. Okay, so we're going to talk about LinkedIn today. And I love LinkedIn because I think it's perfect for both B2B and B2C businesses. So if you are B2B, you can connect with potential clients. If you sell businesses something, if you sell them a product, if you sell them a service, LinkedIn is a great opportunity for you to connect with those other businesses. But if you are B2C, you can still connect with people. I'll give you an example. One of my clients last year, we talked about how to use LinkedIn for her artist business. She's an artist, she's a photographer, and she wanted to connect not only with other photographers, but also she wanted to connect with art galleries, art curators, event planners who produce art events, because those people help connect her to her end consumer. She sells art to the everyday person like you and I, but connecting with those people on LinkedIn gives her those connections that she can potentially leverage for the future. So LinkedIn, not just for B2B, can be for B2C as well. And when I say B2B and B2C, I mean business to business or business to consumer. So an example of business to consumer would be an artist, a photographer, selling her art to people so they can have it in their homes. That's business to consumer. Business to business is a business like mine, where I sell social media services and consulting to other businesses, and their businesses are either selling to other businesses or to consumers as well. Okay, I can see that there's some people live. If you can hear me, go ahead and type in the comment section just so I know that my sound's okay. I've been using headphones lately. I'm hoping it helps with the sound quality, but also so you guys don't hear my dogs barking as often. Just a little hopeful little, I'm being positive this Friday morning. All right, so I'm going to dive into LinkedIn, and I've got 3 tips to share with you today for an impactful LinkedIn strategy. Now, these tips aren't in any particular order, but I do think if you don't do tip number 1, tips 2 and 3 won't be as impactful, okay? Thanks, Yodi. Yeah, thanks. That sounds good. Awesome. All right, so tip number 1 for LinkedIn is make sure that your profile is optimized. And I'm going to see if I can share my screen and show you my profile real quick. They actually just changed some of this, which is exciting. So you can see some of those changes. Can you guys see my screen? I think it's showing you the entire screen. Let's see if I can get you to just my LinkedIn window. There. Haha, perfect. All right. So, LinkedIn, this is your profile. They have this profile picture here. You want to make sure that it is clear and that it is a picture of you. It has to be a picture of you. This isn't a moment to like post a picture of your dog as your profile picture. That's not what LinkedIn's for. This needs to be a picture of you. Okay. Now, they recently adjusted how this looks in comparison to the cover photo. So I'm actually going to go back in and add in some text here. Maybe a little bit more about me or a call to action, something I want people to do. So we could definitely add some text to this cover image and make it a little more impactful. All right, next up, you've got this one-liner here, and this is very important because you want it to really show people at a glance what you do. So, I am a social media strategist. I help your business achieve visibility, growth, and engagement on social media. That's what I do. Whether I'm teaching you how to do it, whether I'm doing it for you, that's what I do, okay? That's what we do at the Online Drea team, and I see that Eve and Diody are here as well. They're on the team. So optimizing your profile picture, cover photo, this one-liner bio, and then you can go into more in depth about what you do in this about me section. It gives you, I don't remember how many characters you have. You have a lot of space here. Use all of it as much as possible. Give people an idea of what you do. Talk about your past experience. Talk about who your ideal person is. Why are you here on LinkedIn? Okay, so use that. I've also attached a video. This is a YouTube video. You can attach videos to your profile to make them more engaging. So I have a little video that talks about what I do. Oftentimes I include it in my pitches to clients, so that kind of gives you an idea of me at a glance. So I attached that video there. So feel free to get fun with it. All right, we're still talking about tip number 1, which is optimizing your profile. The last couple things I want to show you, I think, you have your articles and activity here. I don't think that's as important when you're starting out, but you definitely want to put in your experience and things that relate to your job. I have everything on here. It's a matter of preference, I think, but I do think it does show. It helps if you emphasize past experience that relates to your current experience. So, for instance, I'm a social media strategist, but I also worked at the spa and fitness center. And when I did that, I did help with their social media as well. So I made sure to mention that and put a little flyer that I designed. Or I was a web content manager at Monster Marketers for a few years. When I was in university, I was the theater club's marketing director. So things that relate to marketing in your bio, okay, in your experience section. Last thing is your your recommendations. You can do skills and endorsements. I do find this to be helpful, but what's even more powerful is recommendations, and you have the ability to ask someone for a recommendation. So I ask my clients, my current, my past clients, to tell me their thoughts. What did they think about working with me? And here's the artist I was talking about earlier, Lori. We worked last year, and so you can check out her review about our experience working together. But this is the most powerful section of your LinkedIn profile, and that you want to make sure you have recommendations so that you're not just talking about how wonderful you are in a bubble. Other people are saying you're wonderful as well. So that really helps to kind of curate these and get a few of them going. Ask your friends and family, ask your past clients, and get some of those recommendations on there, okay? All right, so I'm going to go back to camera view. We talked about optimizing your profile. That's my number 1 tip, because if your profile isn't optimized, then some of the other actions and things that you do on social media, people go to look at your profile and they're like, I don't see how this relates to me. So you want to make sure your profile speaks to the people that you're trying to connect with. Now, tip number 2 is related to connections, and a few different people do these different ways. Some people only connect with people they have met in person and they know. Some people connect with anybody and everybody. I'm somewhere in the middle. I think that it is important to build your connections on LinkedIn, and for LinkedIn, connections are followers, basically. People who, it's almost like friend requests on Facebook. People who you are connected with. You've both agreed that you want to keep in touch with each other, okay? So when you are making these connections on LinkedIn, definitely start off with people you already know. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, people you've worked with in the past. That will start to build up your community on LinkedIn. But you can also connect with people you don't know. I just highly recommend that you're still connected to them in some way. So either they are in the same industry as you, or you guys went to the same university, or you had a past job experience that was similar in the same industry or in the same company. Just make sure there's some sort of connection there, because that really increases the chances of them accepting your request to make that connection. But I go in every week and try to connect with at least 20 people. That's my personal goal. When we do it for clients, we do that even more, about 10 people a day. This is really important to build your tribe, also because not everyone that you send a connection request to is going to accept that request. Hey, Cindy. Nice to see you this morning. Okay, sorry, 2 computers is like blowing my mind now. So not everyone who you send a request to connect with will connect with you, and that's okay. It's really a long play. You're in it for the long haul kind of thing. All right, so we talked about optimizing your profile. We talked about building your connections. And the third tip is to engage. I talk about this all the time, and it's really where you need to spend a lot more of your time every day on LinkedIn. And this goes the same for every single other social media platform. LinkedIn is no different. You want to scroll through your feed. Oh, let me share my screen again. And let's go back to my feed. So this is my home screen, my home feed. I do post myself, which I recommend you do as well, but it's really not as important as engaging, okay? If you don't know what to post, skip that step. Start engaging with people first. All right, so I go through my feed and I'll read this comment. This is Shaylee. She's talking about lead generation and the importance of building relationships. I like that, so I'm going to hit like. It's as simple as that. Every time you connect with someone, even if it's something as simple as hitting like, you're giving them a little wave. You're saying, hey girl, hey, I'm over here. Oh, hey Chris from Atlanta. Every time you hit a like, leave a comment, share something, you're giving them a little wave. Does anybody remember the Facebook poke? Remember how we used to poke people on Facebook? This is like back when Facebook was first a thing. Comment below if you remember the Facebook poke. You hit poke and it would send a poke to somebody and then they would poke you back. And that was really all there was to it. Thinking back on it now, I don't quite get the point, but it was there. So liking someone is kind of like poking them, giving them a little bit of something to say, hey, I'm over here, okay? Cindy, you still poke? Oh my God. I don't even know where to find that now. Poke battles, yes, Eve. We used to do poke battles. It was like, who's the last person to poke back? And it just went on forever until you gave up. Hey, Jemmy. Yeah, you remember the poke? Yeah. Terry, you hated the poke. Oh, hold on, Terriccio. Oh, how do you say your name? Terriccio. I feel like I'm butchering that. I'm so sorry, Miss James. Can you put a little pronunciation so I can get that for you? Yeah, the poke was so 2006, and it does sound a bit creepy, Chris. Especially now. I don't know. In 2018, poking someone sounds real creepy. But yeah, so every time you comment, every time you like, every time you share, every time you send a connection to someone, you're poking them, okay? You're saying, hey, I'm over here. I'm interested in what you have to say. So go through your feed, just scroll through. Okay, skip these posts. These are promoted. They're ads. I mean, unless they relate to you, there's no need to spend your time there. But scroll through. Look at what other people are saying. If you have something to say, leave a comment and like it. Now, I wanted to show you something else as well because, here's an example. LinkedIn also shows you content. Oh, it's Terrical. Terrical? Terrical. Okay, I got it. LinkedIn also shows you content from other people that you are connected to. So I'll give you an example. Kat Patterson. This is someone who I'm connected to on LinkedIn. Okay. She liked Cindy Rob's post. I don't know Cindy Rob. I'm not connected to her, but Kat is. And so LinkedIn actually shows you that Kat liked Cindy's post, and LinkedIn was like delivering this post to me in the feed, thinking maybe I'd like it too. So this is another opportunity to connect with people. I'm not going to necessarily connect with Cindy, but I can like and I can leave a comment on this post as well, okay? So now I'm not only poking people that I'm connected with, I'm poking people who my connections are connected with, okay? All right, cool. I'm going to go back to video view. If you have a question about LinkedIn specifically, I'm going to go over our 3 tips just now, but please write a comment in the comment section so that I can answer your comments live about LinkedIn. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put the comment as well, because I'll go back through the comments and respond to any over the next day or so, okay? All right, so our 3 tips for optimizing your LinkedIn profile so that it's impactful, and the 3 actions you need to do for a strategy that works are these. Number 1, make sure your profile is optimized. You want to make sure your picture is clear. You want to make sure that anyone who happens across your platform knows exactly what you're talking about. If someone randomly lands on your LinkedIn page, they should know at a glance what it is you do and whether it relates to them or not. So, optimized platform. Number 2, make sure that you're building your connections. Start off with the people that you know, but branch out to people that you don't know, people in your industry, people who could potentially be interested in whatever it is you're offering, connections that your connections have, etc. And tip number 3 is to engage, participate in this community. You want to not just connect with people, but continue to poke them over and over so that they don't forget about you, because chances are the connections that you make today aren't interested in what you're selling today, but they could be 3 months, 6 months, 3 years down the road, and you want to stay top of mind so that when they're ready to make that next step and make that decision to hire you or purchase your product, you've been engaging with them for however long period of time, and you've stayed top of mind. All right, Chris has a question for B2B, and he asks, is it better to post an article directly on LinkedIn or post on your own website, then share it to LinkedIn? Great question, Chris, and I do a combination. So what I would suggest doing is when you first publish your article, publish it to your website. That is the home of that article. Then you can take that content of that article and repost it as an article on LinkedIn. The way LinkedIn is set up, it's not penalized by Google. There's a few other sites like Medium that are similar. You can take the exact same words from your article that you post on your website and post it on LinkedIn as an article. Now, as you're going to reshare that, let's say it's 3 months from now, the article is still relevant, you want to share it out, I would share a link back to your blog post. That article can live on your LinkedIn, but I really think you want to start driving traffic back to your website so that when people get curious, they read the article, they find it interesting. They can also click around, see what you do, read more articles, that sort of thing. I don't find that the actual LinkedIn article platform that they have is conducive to exploring more of your articles. They kind of recommend other people's articles and that sort of thing, but it does help. LinkedIn articles do show up in the search, and it's still not penalized by Google. They show up in LinkedIn searches, and they really add some clout to your profiles because I'll give you an example. One of my clients actually booked me after searching my LinkedIn and seeing a case study that I posted on my profile. It's on my website as well, but LinkedIn, some people view that as way more of a public kind of display of what you're doing. It's not hidden away on a private website or anything like that. So it really helps establish your clout. I would just say it's not really as important as having it on your website. So to recap, post your article on your website, take the copy from that article, also post it as a LinkedIn article, and then over time continue to share the link to your website, the link to that article, as a status update on LinkedIn. Does that answer your question, Chris? I hope that helps. What other questions do we have today before we wrap it up? Sorry if you guys heard my dog barking. I'm hoping the headphones help muffle the sound just a titch. Questions. If we don't have any more questions, I do want to extend an offer to anyone who wants more personalized guidance on LinkedIn. I do offer strategy sessions where we can deep dive into your exact problems. I can give you exact specific solutions. I do an audit of your LinkedIn, and we'll go through and we'll figure it out together. Strategy sessions are $129. I'll add the link into the comment section right now. I only do about 3 or 4 of these a month. So make sure you get on the calendar, because if you don't, they do tend to book up. Especially at the beginning of the year, they were booking up. There we go. I was just making sure I spelled that right. I think I'm moving too fast lately for spelling. All right, cool. Strategy sessions, it really helps if you want to deep dive into any topic, whether it's LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram. We'll go through it all together, okay? Any last final questions before we end today? I think that's all for now. Great. Awesome. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. I will do another training video here soon. They're usually on Fridays around this time. If you have any questions throughout the week, post them in the group. I love to see your questions. I'll either answer them on the spot via text, or I'll do a whole video like this. This video came about from Ein, our group member, who had a question about LinkedIn, and I made a video talking all about LinkedIn. It's really that easy, and it's that simple. Thank you, Jemmy. I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a great week and a great weekend. Bye!